We had the fight in Glasgow, Scotland on DAZN. Before we get to the main event, which was Josh Taylor versus Echo Isuman, we're going to talk about some of the fights early on. Before I get to the co-feature, I want to start with the man who's getting all the buzz in the heavyweight division, Moses Itauma. He fought Mike Balogun. Now, Moses Itauma, we've been talking about him quite a bit. We've seen him a lot now, live in Saudi Arabia. He is the Ring Magazine Prospect of the Year. We've seen him, like I just said, with some very impressive performances. In this fight, another one, right? Very sharp, explosive, a dominant performance, but versus a guy that seemed like he should do that against, right? Balogun, take nothing away from him. He got up a couple of times. He kept trying until he was stopped and finished in the second round.
Can I say one thing? A little tease.
Go for it.
Balogun's older than you. That's all. That's all, Rich. I'm not giving away more than that.
Hey, and Balogun had a cup of tea in a training camp in the NFL. He was a linebacker back in the day. Got into boxing late. But he looked like what he was there to be, right? The opponent. And I gave him credit for getting up and continuing after being dropped a few times. But with that being said, it also felt like he was the guy going into the propeller, that he wanted to end it. He lunged in, hands down, and Itauma caught him right on the chin, did what he was supposed to do, and finished him. What did you think of Moses Itauma overall? And is the hype worth it? Do you gauge it and gain it off of a fight like this?
He needs to fight. It's time to start fighting better guys. He's 12-0, 10 KOs. He's not going to break Mike Tyson's record for youngest heavyweight champ of all time, 20 years old. They were talking about that. He was in line for the possibility of that. But the ship has sailed on that. That's not going to happen now. So concentrate on his career. Concentrate on what you're doing, forming him, developing him as the best fighter he can be. Not just a puncher, but a complete fighter. Not just a meteor across the sky that's streaking right now, but a planet. Someone with staying power, someone that can have longevity, with substance, and that comes with experience. That comes with fighting better guys. It's time to start now. You got everyone's attention. Now you got to start fighting the kind of guys that will make you that planet. That when your day comes, when the moment comes, and it's coming, but when it comes, you'll be ready. So you got to start answering questions now. The most important questions are for the fighter himself. Can he depend on himself? Do I belong? When I get to that next level, can I feel sure that I belong, that I'm ready, that I can sniff that rarefied air and I won't faint from it? That's a big part of developing a fighter, that the fighter knows that they can depend on themselves, that they're ready for the moments that are coming. And that only comes from fighting increasingly better. You do it the right way. You do it properly. You don't do it in a rush. You don't do it where you make mistakes. But you gradually increase the competition with durable guys. I like to do it with durable guys who if you do falter a little bit, they're not big punches. This way, you get a chance for the fighter himself and for you to watch him, to gauge him, to monitor him, to see how he's doing as he's going more rounds. And then as he's going more rounds, if he falters a little bit, you don't have him in there with a guy who can, take your lights out. You got him in there with a wily guy, a guy that's durable, who's wily, who for the most part is going to go rounds. I know everyone's saying, I know the commentators, it's a little ridiculous. Oh, how are you going to get rounds? Oh my God, where are you going to fight? There's guys out there that stop it. Stop the gaslighting. I get your job. I understand that you're building a guy up. He's built up. You don't have to do that. We see what we see. Yeah, we like him. He's good. But he needs to now Fight guys where you can find guys, wily guys that aren't as easy to hit. Wily guys, like you said, to your point, Bud, that don't make themselves so available by rushing in and getting caught a nice kind of right hook from the southpaw. Guys that are tricky, guys that maybe will make you look great, but they will make you learn. They will take you into deeper waters. Waters that you're going to have to go into one day. And where you want to know what those waters feel like. You don't want to say, oh, this is cold. This is deep. Oh, what? I don't want to ever have a fight and say, this is a little deep. Are you kidding me? Yeah. We were always going to go into deep waters. And now you're saying it's deep? That's why you have to bring them into those waters at the right time, the right way. That's how you develop a fighter. I don't want to hear these commentators. Oh my God, how you gonna? Oh, can you find somebody who can go rounds? Oh my, like you're looking for the lost ark. It's not the lost ark. There's plenty of guys out there that if you want to find them, you will. I'm sorry, but I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. What I wanted to say is, listening to what you were saying, it almost seems like maybe he's not ready yet for the title. Do you think he's ready for a title shot?
Not for me. For me, I want him to get a little more fights, a little more. I want him to go. I want to get at least a leg into the deep water. Maybe he doesn't have to get submerged in it, but let him at least get up to his hips. Up to his hips. A little bit. What I like about him, he's got talent. He's got size. He's young. He can punch. You can't teach that. Like I always say, and I made it a popular saying, where, punches are born. They're not made. You have that kind of power, He has it. He has that kind of power. What I like most about him, Bud, is he's got the delivery systems. He's got the boxing IQ. He's thinking in there. I think Ben Davidson's doing a good job with him as trainer, and whoever had him before did a good. His technique is solid. He's got a good, solid base of technique. He knows how to fight, and he knows how to use the great God-given abilities and genetics that were passed on to him by his parents. He knows how to use them because he's been taught good technique. That shows. That shows the way he took a step back, created a gap, and got Balogun to reach in and then catch him with that counter right hook. First time he caught him with the right hook, he just beat him to the punch. He punched inside while Balogun was loading up. That was good timing. I like that. But then he took a little step back, got Balogun to reach a little bit, gave him a little room, a little rope to hang himself. And then he caught him with that other. And that's the best, that's the most dangerous punch for a southpaw. That's another thing that makes him so difficult. He's a southpaw. And that's the most dangerous, I always talk about that. Orthodox fighters are not used to seeing that right hook come from that peripheral place. It's hard to pick it up. It's hard to see it. They're not used to that. It's a dangerous punch. To me, it's the most dangerous punch a southpaw can throw. That counter right hook. And he throws it well, and he looks for it. He knows it's a dangerous punch. He has developed a liking for it, understanding how effective and dangerous it is, and can be, and should be. So again, I like not only his talent, but I like he's got a good fundamental. It's like a house. You look at the house, you say, hey, that house is pretty. Looks nice. Let me see the foundation. Is it going to stay? Does it have cement underneath it? And that's what I like. I see some cement there. I see the blocks. I see the fundamentals. So I like what I see. I just think it's time now. Not tomorrow, now, to start, as I said, letting him take a deep breath in a fight once in a while. That's not a bad idea. So he can know he took a deep breath, psychologically and physically, and say, oh, I got past that. I dealt with that. I feel good about it. Right now, he's not learning anything with these fights. He got everyone's attention. He's 12-0. That's good. All right. It's kind of like Macy's window at Christmas time. You put all that stuff in there to get all the people's attention, right? You put a beautiful window out with all kinds of stuff. Now you got to make sure it's in the warehouse because people are coming in. People are going to come in. They saw it. They say, okay, I'm going to go shop in your store now. All right, I'm coming. You got me. That window got me. I'm coming. My family's coming. My block is coming. I told everyone, you got to see this Macy's window. When they come, you better have the freaking product in the back. Otherwise, you got a problem. They ain't going to stay. They're going to leave.
With that being said, it is time. And assuming he will step up in his next fight, this guy fought 7 times, Moses did, in 2023, 4 times in 2024. He's getting the activity, those 12 fights, 10 knockouts. The step up is coming. So I want to ask you, we just watched last week Allen versus Fisher. Allen pulled off the upset versus Fisher, the heavyweights in the UK. Is that a fight that makes sense versus an Allen? Is it a Dillian White, a bigger name? Is it a Joe Joyce, who, yes, he could punch, but is getting older?
Dillian White would be a nice step. That might be a little more than they want to go, but that's not, he can punch a little White, so you got to be a little concerned about that. He's so experienced. That would be nice. I think Fisher, they would sell that fight. People would come and watch it, but I think he knocks out Fisher. I love Fisher.
Not Fisher, Allen. Allen beat Fisher.
Well, I meant to say Allen. I'm sorry. But Allen, who just knocked out Fisher in the rematch, listen, he's got a great story, Allen. People would come and watch it, but I don't think that would be the test, to be quite frank. It's a step from where he is right now. Yes, okay, fine. But I think then you're talking about a little bit more of the guys that aren't maybe winning at a high clip anymore, but they're going rounds, and they've been rounds. They've been around the town. They've been there, done that. They're just the old guys that you can learn something from. That you learn that you got to be even trickier than you are to land a clean punch on. He's pretty tricky. Itauma. He'll punch low. I saw what he does. He'll throw something low and then he'll go high. He'll set it up low, he'll go high. He can punch with either hand. Left hand as southpaw's backhand or the right hook. Either one. And he sets up that counter hook. He sets traps. I just talked about that. So he's showing cleverness, but get him a guy that'll make him show even more creativity in order to land a shot. And it ain't the worst thing in the world if you get him a guy that he can land that threatens, that threatens to go the distance. You want that because you want him to learn. Get him a guy that he can hit on the potato. That he's going to have to outbox the guy or he's going to have to outwork the guy and show those qualities because he's going to need those qualities.
Well, if they want somebody to go rounds with him, there's a guy in the UK named Derek Chisora. He goes rounds with everyone.
He's too old now, Bud. I'm a little concerned about how that's a good one, Bud. That's a good one. But I just think Chisora now, he went rounds again, but he went rounds with an older guy. I think now if you put in Chisora at 42, whatever he is now, with a 20-year-old dynamic talent like this, I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that. And I don't think that – I think Frank Warren has too much care and respect for Chisora to do that to him at this point in his career because Warren has obviously Chisora and he has Itauma.
Well, and Chisora has been on a little tear of late with some wins where he has now put himself in position to be a mandatory for a title shot. So he's going to wait for one last big payday that he deserves.
100%.
Yeah. And with that being said, the last thing before we head off of this topic is if he can impress in that step-up fight that we're talking about, whoever it's against, does that maybe keep Usyk around? If he beats, which is a big if, versus Dubois in the rematch, but if he beats Dubois, does that challenge motivate him to take on?
I hope he goes to the sunset. I love Usyk. As a person, not just a fighter, I hope if he gets, it's going to be a tough fight, this Dubois fight. Dubois not the same guy. This fight's going to be a tough, dangerous fight because Dubois has found himself. Dubois is a fighter that before he had power, he knew how to fight, but he didn't have the confidence. He didn't have the belief in himself. He didn't have he didn't have that it factor. He didn't have that mental toughness, that willingness to go to another place, to even know if he could go to another place in order to get a win. Now he does. Now he knows. Now he knows. And that makes him really dangerous. That's going to be a very interesting, really, really interesting fight. Him and Dubois and Usyk. If Usyk gets past it, let's say he gets past it. I just like to see him go off into the sunset and enjoy his life and his family and his legacy. Because it'll be a beautiful legacy. It'll be a beautiful legacy. He'll put himself right in there with the greatest. He will. I don't care what anyone says. You can't argue it. He'll put himself in there, right in there with that great list of heavyweight greats. So for me, that's just me being, whatever. I think he's earned the right. Usyk's up there now. What's he, 37 years old? He's up in that area. He's had, he had 300 amateur fights. He held all the, he unified all the
cruiserweight to heavyweight.
Cruiserweight, like
Olympics.
Holyfield did. He won the Olympic gold medal. He unified the heavyweight, beat all bigger guys. Let him, if he can pull this one off, if he can get past this one, let him go off into the sunset. Let's have a happy ending for a change. Can we? I mean, we don't get enough happy endings, unfortunately, in boxing. We get some, but we get too many that aren't. I want to see a movie that ends the way that makes me feel happy. I don't know.